All right, guys, we're heading to breakfast. Yummy! Yes, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and look, Budapest is rainy and cold. Okay, cold is relative, but it's been like 90 degrees for us the last 4 weeks, and today is 65, 60, something like that. So we're cold, but that's okay. The rest of okay, I'm cold, but my point is it's colder.
It's cool out.
Just leave me alone.
It's not comfortable.
So the fact that Eric has on a jacket means that it's not
that
hot.
was being a ninny.
That was a ninny statement. A ninny? What's a ninny? That doesn't mean that.
But it's not comfortable, but it's also not cold.
It's cool, and we're used to it being like 90, 95. So I was like, wait, no tank tops and shorts? I have on a long sleeve shirt, pants, sneakers, a sweater, and my raincoat, because it's rainy too. So we're supposed to go on several tours. We're supposed to go on a tour, which is a walking tour, and then everywhere we go in Budapest, we walk. So we'll have to see how that works out today. The breakfast spot, Spinoza Cafe. Our hotel gave us vouchers for this place. Ew, cute little spot. I want to sit by the wall. So nice. Breakfast is served. French toast with fruit. What did you do?
Fly around.
Oh, a bagel with cream cheese. Josh is the same as me. And omelet.
Omelet.
And then we all have juices, and Josh, Kalani, and I have hot chocolate. And Eric, Josh, and I have grapefruit juice. And Kalani has an orange juice, and Eric has a cappuccino. And I'm gonna do that. That was yummy. Heading back to our hotel because we forgot our Starbucks cups. We're heading there. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah. So we're in the heart of the Jewish section of Budapest, and it was really interesting because in that restaurant, they had a lot of signs about like traditional Jewish cake or pictures of seemed like important Jewish people who used to live in Budapest. So that's the tour that we're going to do today. Actually, it's about Jewish Budapest. So it's interesting. Wow, it's beautiful. UN Relief Agency. I feel like I'm getting hit with all the stuff to head back to Jerusalem. So lots of families at our school work for the UN Relief, UN Runwa. I can't remember how to pronounce it. Can y'all wait for me? A lot of families work for UNRWA. And then we were at that restaurant, and everything surrounding us was Jewish this and Jewish culture that. And I'm like, yeah, that's where we're heading, right back to Jewish culture this and Jewish culture that. Wait, come dance with me. Clap along if you know happiness is to you. Hey. That's what you want to do. I'm still happy. I'm making a happy video. Hi. Okay, I just got totally watched by a whole table full of people in a restaurant. But you have to dance to happy. You can't not dance to happy.
No, come on.
Check out this money, guys. 20,000 forint. That's a big bill. So that's the money they have here in Hungary. They have forints, and they are very. Is that a big? It's not. I don't know how to describe it, but the currency is very weak against the euro and dollar. So the numbers go very, very high, very high. 20,000 forint or 400,000. 40,000
Forints is like
was like
a little bit less than $150.
Well, $150, a little bit less. Okay. So that'll be about like 100 euro, 120 euros,
30,
something like that, 120 or 130 euros. Okay, guys, now we're going to Starbucks. Okay, so here's Parliament building, guys. I don't know if you could hear me on the corner, but we have walked over to Parliament. We're gonna go inside and take a look around, see what's what. There's another beautiful building across the street. I'm sure that I will be able to tell you what it is by the time I'm editing this video. And here comes the tram. See, perfect timing. We could have gotten smashed by that tram. Our photographer's feeling disappointment because it's cloudy and he can't get good pictures. He goes, it's just not a good day. There's no contrast or anything. Poor guy. Look at that cuteness. Yeah. Ever the photographer. I should get him to make a book. Pictures will be beautiful. He's got two gorgeous little subjects that clearly love being models. Can you tell? Y'all be making the ugliest faces when Daddy's taking pictures. I don't want to turn around and look at it. Very cool. Oh, look at Kalani's new shoes that she got at Tesco. Turn them sideways. Turn them sideways, honey. Turn them sideways so we can see the side. Okay. I still haven't seen the side though.
I don't want to see it.
Go like this, Kalani. The other side, the outside. You're doing everything but what I want to see. The outside. Thank you. She's awkward. You see
Like this.
all I wanted you to do was this. It's getting some juice. Look at this bridge, guys. How cool is that? It's the Segway, guys. But at the Segway, guys, is this cool bridge over troubled waters. I will lay me down. My family is on the bridge with the weird guys. Meanwhile, I just almost got hit by a Segway. I almost got hit by a Segway.
Really?
The blind dude almost ran into me.
All right, where are we going?
Let's just stroll about.
Let's get a bite.
That's really beautiful. Parliament's back there. So here's the story. We're going to come back to Parliament at 5:30 for our tour. You can't go in without a tour. And we did find the entrance. It was full of people. And there's a tour. There are tours every so often in various languages. And so we signed up for a tour for 5:30, which will give us time to go to the Jewish section of Budapest. And instead of going on the walking tour that starts at 3:30, which we thought we'd do, we are going to go someplace and look up the information about the Jewish section of Budapest. Kalani apparently doesn't like tours anyway with guides. So, oh look, Slash is going to be in concert. Sorry. Distraction. Oh, he was already here. So anyway, did y'all know that Slash was biracial? Let me show you. Slash. Y'all know Slash, Guns N' Roses, right? Hey, Slash. And Sting too? Wait. No. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to come back and do the tour, but we're going to go look up some of the Jewish sites, the Great Synagogue. We're going to research the woman that Kalani learned about in school and try to go find her home, Hannah Stenish. And we're going to maybe try to find areas that were important for daily life in Jewish culture. So, yay, that's what we're going to do. We're not hungry yet, although we found a Chinese food place, so I guess we'll come back eventually for some Chinese food before we go to our tour. This is a really beautiful old building, guys. Look at that. It's gorgeous. This building. Look, Kalani wants me to get a picture of this little silly little dog. Look at this, hummy. Looking like a rat. Yeah, this building reminds me of a building in Brooklyn. The Armory. Was that what it was called? Brooklynites, help me out. Going toward downtown Brooklyn. Down by Flatbush. No, by Nostrand. That one is going all the way toward downtown. That's the other end of Brooklyn from where I had lived. Is that Ronald Reagan?
4th or 5th greatest president.
It looks like Ronald Reagan.
It is.
It is Ronald Reagan. I thought so. Why is there a statue of Ronald Reagan in Budapest?
I don't know.
Supposed to shake his hand, I bet.
I'm not doing it. Sure, I'm trying to understand why the statue of Ronald Reagan here. And it's like he's walking toward this Soviet statue. I'm trying to figure out what that's all about. Maybe I'm just digging into things. Maybe I'm being a conspiracy theorist. So we need to walk around there and find out what this statue is all about. But this is the beautiful little square, except it's a circle with the Brooklyn-like building.
It is actually a square.
Is it a square shape? Oh, does it? Okay. Is there possibly an explanation? Look at the soldiers on it. It's got the communist symbol and everything.
Ah, 1945. It's the liberation of the city from the Germans.
Snow.
The defeat of the Germans by the Soviets.
It's snow.
No.
That's not snow. It's snowing.
No, baby, it's not snow.
What if those little particles though?
Rain.
But they're floating up and down like snow.
Okay guys, so really cool. We found the U.S. Embassy while we were at this park. Remember the statue of the American soldier that Eric just put in? No, that Eric took some pictures of, and I think I posted them already. I think I videotaped it. I don't know, but anyway, the embassy is right here. The U.S. Embassy. It's just on the back side of the kids' park there. So that's really cool. And now we're going to look at these fountains. How pretty is that? It looks like there's a monument, or I don't know if it's a protest of some sort or what, here. In memory of the victims, it says. 1944. So there's spots where the fountain stops going. You got to take advantage of it when it stops. Little monkey got wet. So anyway, I can't read what this sign says, but I wish I could, because this is clearly a sign in memory of people who were lost. And I want to say that it's in memory of the victims of the Holocaust, but I mean, I'm making a huge assumption. But like, there's people's personal belongings. And it looks like deportation, pictures of people going through deportation, going to the deportation trains. Yeah, it is. It's about Hungary's German occupation. This says, protest against the monument falsifying history. And it talks about, I guess, that monument that I first showed you, way across, with the statue that's thanking, you know what, I'm not sure which one it's about, but it says in the official wording, the sculpture ensemble commemorates Hungary's German occupation on March 19th, 1944. As a result of the scandal following the publication of the design, the text has been changed to the victims of the occupation. The central figure of the composition is Archangel Gabriel, impersonating the innocent Hungary, dropping the country's orb, while the German imperial eagle is preparing to strike. Thus does the work subserviently reflect the populist and authoritarian ruling political party's new constitution, forced upon the population against again without any consultation, suggesting that the state of Hungary bears no responsibility for the genocide following the German occupation, including the deportation of nearly 500,000 Hungarian citizens, mostly Jews, but also gypsies, gays, and dissidents. Gypsies would be Roma, to Nazi extermination camps. And it's this monument is a lie serving a political intention. Hungary was the first in Europe back in 1920 to pass an anti-Semitic law, followed by a row of similar, increasingly heavy-handed laws stripping Hungary's Jews of more and more rights. The state that sent to their death 20,000 people unable to certify their Hungarian citizenship in. The state whose gendarmes, I don't know how to say that word, sorry, and soldiers murdered several thousand civilians at Novi Sad in the winter of 1942 and 43. The state that sacrificed 200,000 soldiers in a senseless war while some of its occupying units abroad committed a series of war crimes against the civilian population. Historians of the Hungarian Academy of Sciences have unanimously condemned the message suggested by this monument, labeling it as an attempt to rewrite history. Wow. Is this it, Hemi?
No, this is a smaller one.
It's a synagogue?
It is a synagogue, yes.
So guys, I told you that we were staying in the Jewish part of, the old Jewish part of Budapest. I don't think they erected it intentionally, but it works out really well because it's in the area of the things that we wanted to see anyway. So this is a synagogue. It's advertising a sign for a walking tour in the Jewish quarter of Budapest, but we're not going to be able to join a walking tour. We're going to have to do our own. We're going to go to the Great Synagogue. This is another one. Huh? Yeah, I'm like, this is a smaller one. Wow. Looks like we're coming up on the Great Synagogue now. Or the Grand Synagogue, I think it's called. Wow, that's quite a structure. Oh my. I think we're coming up on it from the back end. Maybe not. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Is that the Holocaust Memorial? So guys, we're at the front of the synagogue now. It's huge. And there are several important people to Israeli history. Theodore Herzl's house was right here, like in the spot where the synagogue is apparently. And then there's Chaim Herzog. Wow, the synagogue is huge. I can't get the whole thing in one shot. It's a massive building. Eric's in line buying tickets for us. We're inside the synagogue. It's amazing in here, really beautiful. So the downstairs area would have been where men sit, if it's in keeping with the standard practice in many old synagogues. And the women would sit upstairs in the balconies. It's an amazingly beautiful synagogue. Oh my goodness. It's where the Torah would be kept, or is kept. I'm sure it's still an active synagogue. This is a garden in the synagogue grounds. It is actually a mass graveyard. This is the site of where the ghetto was during World War II, where the Jewish community was forced, into ghettos in different parts of Europe. And this is where that was here in Budapest. It was just along the arcade and grounds. There were other buildings here as well. So in the grounds of the synagogue, if I'm understanding the signs correctly, and many people died of starvation and cold and the conditions, and so a lot of them were buried here. I think the sign said about 2,200 were buried here, and some of them were identified, but some were never identified. So there are tombstones for the ones who were identified by family members, but there are many people who were never identified, and they're buried here as well. I want you to see some of these tombstones. Some of them, as you can see, are babies, 1944 to 1945, and they died. I was telling Joshua and Kalani that this is important for them to know about, because there have been many things that have been horribly done to people around the world, horribly done. And in order to make sure things like that don't happen again, we need to know about it. We need to learn about it. And one of the signs said something really good, that it was a time when all human feeling was lost. And because of that, when you lose feeling to the point that you can treat people so horribly that you can justify killing them, that you can justify leaving them to die or leaving them in ghettos to die, then you've lost something integral. You've lost something really significant about your own humanity. And this is something that's very significant, in my opinion, for them to learn, because they have to know this in order to avoid it happening, doing their part to avoid it happening in the future to anyone. This is the woman that Kalani was learning about in her class, Hannah Senich. She's been telling me about her for weeks. Sorry. Thank you. And she's really excited to get to find the plaque that commemorates her. She was actually buried here in this cemetery as well, and then she was exhumed and taken to Israel in the Kalani, what year was Hannah Senich taken to Israel? Her remains? Can't remember? Okay.
1950.
1950, okay. She was taken, her remains were taken to Israel and buried in Har Herzl, which is the cemetery, not Herzl Cemetery, next to Theodore Herzl. So Kalani's bit her piece of information that she wanted to share with us. We found it. I know she's happy about that. We're at the back side of the synagogue now, and this is the Holocaust Memorial back here. It's really interesting because I'm telling you, the Lord is giving us a slow reintroduction back into Israel. These two ladies right here are Israeli, so I'm walking by them and they're speaking in Hebrew. I've walked by clusters and I'm hearing Hebrew and seeing Israelis. It's slow welcome back. Yes.
Wait, imagine when that shines on it.
Must be beautiful, huh? Mm-hmm. Must be gorgeous. Some prayer rooms here. And this is the Holocaust Memorial. This willow tree, weeping willow tree. And these are there's lots of plaques with names of people who died, right?
Huh?
They say he's a righteous Gentile.
Oh, okay.
All those
Raoul Wallenberg. So these are all the people he saved?
I know these are.
So Raoul Wallenberg was not Jewish, but he saved many Jewish people's lives.
These are all the people.
Righteous Gentiles. These are all Hungarian. Okay, all Hungarians who came to help, who did things to help the Jewish people of Hungary. I'm assuming who were being, well, obviously who were being, who were having to flee. So they were helping the Jewish people. They stood against the Nazis during the war. And I think these plaques are the names of the people that they saved. And I really think that it's special and important that they're recognized here as well. I want to read this to you guys, and I hope that you can hear me. I hope the camera doesn't run out because it's really significant. It says, Angelo Giuseppe Roncalli, from 1881 to 1963, were the years of his life, Pope John XXIII. While papal delegate in Turkey and Greece during the Holocaust, Monsignor Angelo Giuseppe Roncalli undertook numerous efforts to save the lives of European Jews. He made impassioned pleas to senior church leaders, including Pope Pius XII, and to officials and heads of state of different countries to intervene to stop the deportation and murder of the Jews. In 1944, he made special efforts to rescue Hungarian Jews by transmitting money, forged documents, and vital information through Monsignor Angelo Rota. As Pope John XXIII, which is who he became, Roncalli commissioned and supported the drafting of a declaration to promote reconciliation between Catholics and Jews. A landmark declaration, Nostre Aetate, I guess is how you pronounce it, or Aetate, was adopted by the Second Ecumenical Council of the Vatican 2 years after his death, which stated that the Jewish people were not responsible for the crucifixion of Jesus, were not rejected by God, and that anti-Semitism should be deplored. Because those were some of the teachings about Jews for centuries, that they were responsible for the crucifixion of Jesus, that God had rejected them and the church had replaced them. And that is absolutely not biblical. We can have that conversation if you like. But this Pope did a lot to protect the Jewish people during the war, and then to try to wipe out that teaching and belief within Catholicism. And it's not just within Catholicism, but many branches of the church actually believe that without even realizing that it's unbiblical and wrong. Come, Kwani, get some money from Daddy. I came back to Budapest and got him again, guys. Yay!